Here's an AMI This Week shortcut with Beth Deer. Birthing blind.
I am over the moon to be introducing a new human into our family, but I can't help but wonder how our 3 fur babies that we already have will adjust to this, especially my guide dog Patronus, as he's used to having my attention 24/7. To help prepare us for this new arrival, I'll be speaking to CNIB Guide Dogs Program Lead and Puppy Raising Supervisor Andrea Critch, who has recently gone through something very similar herself.
So I did have a baby 3 months ago, and I happen to have one of our future guide dogs living in my home right now. And so it was about preparing her for having a baby in the house, because before this, we didn't have any children in the home.
Same for us. So what are some of the things I can do to prepare my guide dog Patronus for having this new person in our house?
So you want to start even before the baby's here, because sometimes if you start before the baby's here, it could be too late for some dogs if they're really sound sensitive. One of the ways you can do it is you can walk by a park and just let them see children, all the sounds they make, the screaming, the running, and even playing babies crying around them. And I also would start to set up some of the items if you can, if you have them. So maybe set up a bassinet, or if you have a crate and it needs to be moved, it's start to move that slowly before the baby's there. So you're not changing things too drastically, because a baby coming into the home is already a big enough change.
That's really good advice. So what about when baby does come home and there's less attention on Patronus?
Another thing you can do is have your dog involved in the little things. Like maybe it's when you're feeding your dog's at your feet, Patronus is at your feet, or during a diaper change, maybe it's just that, that's the spot and we have to go here, and he marks it for you. Just little things so that he thinks he has a job to do.
Yeah, because ultimately I want to keep him engaged and not be jealous of this new baby.
Even if you have it where when you're brushing your dogs, have the baby there, but just, pretend the baby's doing it. So they're still getting that time and they're seeing the baby's good and not a negative.
I know at some point I'll need to work Patronus while the baby's in a stroller. How do I do that?
So I think if you can at the beginning, just to get Patronus used to it and to work him, is that if your partner can go with you so that you're working Patronus, or maybe even someone else's work is pushing the stroller, just so that you can get him used to walking beside, not in front of the stroller. I would say, Beth, if you're going to do it by yourself, you may want to have a trainer just come out just to teach Patronus more of the boundaries again. So, because he's used to finding a curb for you or finding a stair. So you might want to have a trainer potentially just to teach him a new command about how to properly stop for you if you're pushing him by yourself, your baby by yourself.
But I guess before I even get to that point, I obviously have to give birth, which is really my biggest concern, because I'm allowed to bring Patronus to the hospital, but I just don't know if I should. I just don't know what's best for him.
So the one thing with me anyways, so I had, my water broke and then nothing happened. So I had to be induced. And at least with my experience, everything went really slow for me. So in that case, you wouldn't have wanted him to be at home for 15 hours, with only someone going and letting him out. Now it could be different for you. You could go faster, but if it was going to be something that long, it's like, well, at least you can wait until you're halfway dilated and then you can have him go home, because the rest is probably going to speed up really quick. Because if you get into any pain, he's probably, the closer you get to obviously delivering, the more pain you're going to be in, and he might not like that part of it. So you probably want to get him out of there before that happens.
I'm pretty sure I'm not going to like that part either. Finally, now that you've had your little boy home for a few months, what is that relationship like between him and the guide dog?
With Ollie, the future guide dog, she is obsessed with my baby. And anywhere I go, she follows me everywhere. And so there's times where I'm like, okay, it's fine. I'm good. He's fine. You don't need to lick him so much that his hair's slicked up. But it's been awesome. And it's been great just to have, go on walks and get out and have him involved with that. He really likes, he follows the dogs now when they are walking around with his eyes. So I wouldn't change. I love, it's awesome. It's going to be great for my guy to grow up with the dog.